Hello, my name is Chase Kanehisa, and today I will be talking about my ERD that I created for my Business 311 class. The scenario that I was assigned is scenario 2, which was to design an ERD for a library management system. Books can be authored by multiple authors, and authors can write multiple books. Library users can borrow multiple books, and each book can be borrowed by multiple users. So from this scenario, I recognize that it's a many-to-many relationship, and there are three main entities labeled authors, books, and borrowers. In the first entity, the primary key is the author ID, which is a unique identifier for each author. There are 7 attributes that I put down that help me identify the author's first name, last name, date of birth, nationality, biography, email, and phone number. In the second entity, labeled books, the primary key is book ID, which is a unique identifier for each book. There are 7 attributes to help me understand and find the book's title, ISBN, which is the International Standard Book Number, the publication date, genre, number of copies available, language, and page count. Because this is a many-to-many relationship, there has to be a middle entity which combines authors and books, and that is what I titled it, authors books. And the primary key is the author book ID, which basically ensures that the author ID and book ID are distinct. And there are 2 foreign keys in this entity because of the 2 primary keys, one from the author and one from the book entity, um, that turn into foreign keys here in the middle entity. And then underneath that, there are 9 attributes which help me determine the number of books authored by that specific author, the type of books authored by that specific author, such as whether it was nonfiction, fiction, or both, and the genre of books authored by that author, which can be romance, comedy, or both. Um, the type of award that was won, or if was won by the author, what was it? And the award description, which is how the author won that award. There is the contribution type, which basically is the type of contribution that this person was, whether the person was an author or co-author or editor. And the role description, which is basically the description of the author's role, whether that person was a main author or a collaborator. And then there's the contribution date, which can be used to find the date when the author's contribution was made, and the revision date, which can be used to find out the date of the author's latest revision. This many-to-many relationship shows that one author can write many books, and one book can be authored by many people. In this many-to-many relationship, it shows how one book can be borrowed by many people and how one borrower can borrow many books, which leads me on to my third entity titled borrowers. The primary key for this one is borrower ID, which is a unique identifier for each borrower. And this one has 7 attributes as well, which help me understand the borrower's, or help me find the borrower's first name, last name, email, phone number, address, the membership date, like when that person became a member at the library, and the membership type, which is like whether that person is a child or an adult or a senior. And then because it's a many-to-many relationship, there needs to be a middle entity, which is labeled books borrowers. And the primary key for this one is book borrower ID, which basically ensures that the book ID and borrower ID are distinct. And because once again, there are 2 primary keys from books and borrowers, there needs to be 2 foreign keys in the middle entity, which is the two primary keys from this entity and this entity, the book ID and borrow ID. And there are 7 attributes that can help me find the borrow date for the book, which is when the date the book was borrowed, the due date for the book, which is when the book is supposed to be returned, the return date, which is when the book is actually returned, the fine amount, which is if any fines occurred from like an overdue book, how much is it? The borrow status, which is the status of the borrow, whether it's active, returned, or lost. The condition on borrow, which is the condition of the book that it was at the time of being borrowed, and the condition on return, which is the condition of the book when it was returned. That is my ERD.